Just last week, in several cases, the soldier said, Israeli troops deliberately targeted children. There was a boy who entered the zone. He didn't do anything. Other soldiers claimed to have seen him standing, talking to people. That's it. And they dropped a grenade from a drone. In another incident, soldiers tried to kill a child riding a bicycle.
And they get prosecuted for it.
So they have not been prosecuted. Alan, don't lie on television where people can fact you.
Mehdi Hasan pulled no punches when he stepped onto Piers Morgan Uncensored to face off against MAGA mouthpiece Alan Dershowitz. What followed was a fiery, no-holds-barred debate over Israel, Palestine, and the brutal reality of what's unfolding in the Middle East. We're diving into the key moments from their clash. And trust me, you might be shocked at where Piers Morgan lands on this one. I'll break it all down and give you my take. Let's get into it together.
Of them have been prosecuted.
Not a single Israeli soldier has been prosecuted for deliberately killing a Palestinian child. That is a lie. A demonstrable lie. Everyone watching right now.
I'm sorry. You can't say things. Hang on. Just to be clear, Alan, what Mehdi is saying is that no Israeli soldier has been prosecuted for deliberately killing a Palestinian child since this war began. Is your information different to that?
Absolutely different. I know for a fact because I was involved in the negotiations with the International Criminal Court, and I arranged for Khan to come to Israel and see the evidence of what has been done, how people have been prosecuted, how the Israeli legal system has been responsive. So I have all the data and all the information.
Name them. Come back on this show and name those soldiers.
It's true that they've been prosecuted.
Come back on this show, Alan, and name those soldiers. I challenge you. Now, I'll finish my point. You interrupted me. Hold on. You interrupted me. I never interrupted you. You've interrupted me twice now on this show.
I didn't interrupt you.
You did, actually. You interrupted to make false claims.
I did ask Alan a question.
Well, let me finish my point. Actually, my second point, Piers, was to you. I dealt with the Gershon basket and the deliberate killing of kids. They just killed 6 kids queuing up for water.
I was about to talk about
yesterday. They killed 9 kids queuing up for nutritional supplements last week. Stop interrupting, Alan. Everyone can see you do it.
And it's under investigation.
Stop interrupting, Alan. Otherwise, I'll do it to you and you really won't like it. Piers, let me make my point to you that I'm trying to make. You mentioned the New York Times. I'm glad you've mentioned the New York Times several times. The New York Times piece, the long piece, has a lot in there. 2 important points for you, Piers. I've been coming on this show for over a year talking to you about Gaza. Last April and July, the New York Times reports that Netanyahu's own generals told him, there's no military strategy left. There's nothing more we can do. Stop this war. Netanyahu overrode them. So when I was on this show and you were telling me, of course, they're just defending themselves. What else should they be doing? At that time, when I was on this show, Piers, generals were telling Netanyahu there's no war left to be had. They also make it very clear in this piece that the government would have fallen apart had Netanyahu not prolonged the war because he wanted to avoid prosecution. And I'm sorry that we needed the New York Times to say that, because I was saying that on this show to you, Piers. Many people were saying that this war is about Netanyahu trying to avoid prison. This is about Netanyahu trying to avoid prison. I know.
At this point, I genuinely don't think there's anyone sharper than Mehdi Hasan when it comes to stepping into enemy territory and dismantling propaganda live on air. The guy goes toe-to-toe with people like Alan Dershowitz, who still parades around calling himself a Democrat while cozying up to Trump and defending the indefensible. And let's be real. How do you even defend what Israel's doing right now? It's carnage, plain and simple. Even some of the MAGA crowd, not the Fox News talking heads, but regular folks, are finally waking up. They see the footage, they hear the stories, and they're done pretending this is normal. But the sick part, it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden in office. Both sides keep writing blank checks to Israel like it's gospel. Billions in aid, $3 million a day at one point. And we still can't hold them accountable. Israel does whatever it wants. No oversight, no consequences. Just pure impunity.
I know Alan is an expert on criminals. He's defended some of the worst criminals in the world.
Lawyers do defend criminals.
Well, he defends some of the worst people. Epstein, Netanyahu.
Yeah, but lawyers...
No one forced him to defend these people.
Some of the best
Piers, no one forced him to go volunteer to defend Benjamin Netanyahu.
You can't make aspersions against lawyers.
I can actually. I can say you don't need... You don't need to...
It's not very credible to do that.
Really?
Lawyers do their job.
Hold on, Piers. Somebody forced Alan Dershowitz to defend Netanyahu. He said he's proud to do it. No one forced him to do it.
Which criminal should he defend?
I'm proud to do it.
You're proud to defend Benjamin Netanyahu.
He's a criminal lawyer.
You're proud to defend Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein. You defend the worst people in the world.
I was proud. Yes. And I was proud to defend Bill Clinton, and I was proud to defend Ted Kennedy. I've defended people on I've also defended Palestinians who were charged with offenses in Israel. I've also defended Palestinian students at Harvard who wanted to put up a Palestinian flag.
Have you defended Netanyahu's corruption trial? I think you've only defended his war crimes.
But you know what, Mehdi? I do think it's a very lame...
No, I've been involved in his corruption trial too.
It's a very... I've always felt... A lot of people try this with Alan Dershowitz.
Because
there are lots of things you can argue with Alan about what he believes. But when people go ad hominem about him being a lawyer defending bad
Piers,
people...
Well, I'm going to respond now since both come
Most criminal lawyers I've ever met at some stage defend pretty
Piers,
dodgy
I want
people.
You, Piers, look at that.
It's their job, literally their job.
We're looking at our cameras. Look at your camera and say honestly that you would say to Saddam Hussein's law or Slobodan Milosevic's law or Vladimir Putin's law, you wouldn't say a word about people who choose in the West to go defend those people? Yes, you would. It's just you give Netanyahu a pass. I see him in the same league as Saddam Hussein, Vladimir Putin, Slobodan Milosevic. If a Westerner chooses to go defend these people, no one forced him to. I'm going to question their moral.
Do they have a right to defend?
Of course, they have a right to a defense.
Then they should have.
But
no
one forced.
Well, hang on. Then they should have a right to have a lawyer defending them.
Of course.
You understand that?
Understood.
That's how.
Here's what really separates this moment. See, at the top of the video, I said you might be surprised who Piers Morgan sides with. And yeah, sure, he leaned toward Mehdi Hasan a bit. But Piers always has to pivot back to his comfort zone, those predictable right-wing talking points. He just can't stomach giving a full win to a progressive voice like Mehdi. And sure, let's be fair, everyone deserves legal defense. But, come on. Does Alan Dershowitz really need to be that guy? He's not some struggling public defender. The man's wealthy, powerful, and long past the point of needing any of this. He chooses to stand beside people like Epstein and Netanyahu. Mehdi called that out, and he's absolutely right. Meanwhile, Piers keeps playing the same tired game. Bait both sides, stir up the drama, keep the spotlight. But honestly, how do you defend what Israel's doing? This isn't self-defense anymore. It's devastation. Over 70,000 lives gone, and still no clear end. What's the strategy here? Flatten Gaza to find one Hamas fighter? It's madness. Anyway, if you stayed for the breakdown instead of sitting through the full debate, I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts in the comments, Mehdi, Dershowitz, or somewhere in between. Catch you in the next video.